everybody. Welcome again to the 1860 Club. It's indeed a big pleasure today to welcome Dennis Davey, one of the great characters of our club. Started with Preston back in 65, 66, had a great career, which we'll talk about, and finished his career in football, where he was very successful as a coach in the VFL with Geelong in the 19 seconds, and assistant coach to Malcolm Blight. So we're going to cover a bit of territory today. Dennis, welcome.
Good on you, Lee. Good to see you.
You're looking fantastic. And you've been up on the Gold Coast for 25 years, just about.
Yeah, I don't know about that so much, but anyway, makeup's a marvellous thing, isn't it?
We look forward to seeing you down at the club at some point over the next couple of months. That would be great.
I hope so. That's what I intend to do, is get down there. I love Preston Cricket Club, by the way. I'll get that straight up. They were really good to me. It means a lot to me, Preston Cricket Club. And I often, it comes up in conversation a bit from time to time, and I'm just really proud to say that I play with Preston. It's just natural to say that. So anyway, I've got that out of the way. I get a bit misty talking about it sometimes, to be honest.
Yeah, that's it. Well, it all started for you back in Preston. You went to East Preston Primary School.
Yeah, primary school, yeah.
Very successful cricket teams there, because you had some players who turned out to be great players for Preston.
That's true, yeah.
Morgan, Mitch.
Yeah, Morgan, yeah, Scratch, yeah.
Harry Moore, your brother Bob.
Bob, yeah, Bob's a good player. Left-hand, he's left-handed googlies, I think I call him. Yeah, he's a good player. They had a really good side. The team that Bob was in, had Bob Morgan and Gary Moore were in that team. That was their age group, And I think no one could beat them. They were just an awesome little team. I haven't got really clear memories. It was a long time ago, the primary school, but I know we had pretty strong cricket, and sport was such a big thing of your life in those days at school. Not so much now, I don't think, but it was good fun. I remember playing on the concrete. I went back there recently, not long ago actually, to the school, and it's amazing it hasn't changed. It's just looked different, smaller or something to me, and it's a big double-story brick, more like a prison-looking building. I was putting a bit to see it. But yeah, some good times there.
You found your way down to Preston with a few of the other lads?
Yeah. I can't remember. It was with Ian Murray. I started the same year. I'm not quite sure how it came about. Ian and I used to play cricket in his front street where he lived, and I remember him saying to me one day, when he was about 150 not out, I was playing 30-degree day, and I'm nearly dying. I think we should go and try and get a game somewhere, And the next thing was at Preston, and he went through we started at the same time. I was in the fourth and he's in the first. That's how quick he went out of. That's how it all started.
You finished as a wicket-keeper, but you were primarily a bowler in the early days. Looking at the old reports, you had some very impressive performances.
Yes. Yeah, well, I don't know that. I couldn't bowl, to be honest. And it was all about just getting a game. I've worked out there weren't any spinners in the club that particular year, so I'll have a go at that. I might get a game doing that. And I finished up getting carted all over the place, and then went back the next year and I thought, haven't got a keeper. I'll give that a try. And that's how it sort of went with me. I just worked out I might get a game doing this. So I had to go, sort of went from the fourth up to the first doing something, and then back to the fourth, back up to the first again doing something else. It's the weirdest thing. I'll tell you, it's the weirdest thing. But I was glad when you come along. I was keeping then, and I was just really playing. I was a good backstop, I think, a reasonable backstop. And it wasn't Jack Potter's time, and Jack, he just hated me as a cricketer. I knew it. He virtually told me one day, actually. At any rate, so I was sort of backstopping, and then not doing too bad. Taking off because Brian Pert was playing, and they were nicking him left, right, and centre. And then Don Hudson come along, and as a keeper on the stumps to a good spinner, he's got to be a good keeper, doesn't he? Well, you were, but I said to Don one day, look, I can't pick you wrong for a bloody life. You're going to have to do something, like put your shirt collar or something, So poor old Don, apart from thinking of anything else, he had to remember to do this when he's bowling his bloody wrong. Oh, God, it was embarrassing for him. Now look back on it. And he was such a good bowler.
Back in those days, you played with some unbelievable greats at the club. Bill Lewin,
Yeah, Bill.
Ray Harvey.
No, I didn't have the privilege of that. No, he'd gone by the time I was playing there. I think Bill was actually on his last year when I played with him too. He only played 2 games, I think, with him. He was such an awesome figure on the ground. Like he was imposing. Such a big bloke. Did you ever see him or meet him?
No.
He was a big, imposing fella and just a great cricketer and good Preston fella too. Yeah. But he gave him the first bowl in the first, and he had no idea who I was. I'm sure, but anyway, I better give this bloke a bowl. He probably thought it was the last day of the day, playing sunshine at Preston. We'd made no runs and had to bowl again. And these second ball I bowled, a bloke hit me back a cord and bowled. I could not believe it. How bad a ball it was, really. It was never going to turn or anything like that. Anyway, he did that, and 2 or 3 balls later, Blake Nick one day, Murray standing in first slip, mind his own business. He wasn't expecting to get a catch, I can tell you that. Anyway, so it's 2 for none walking off the ground. I'm thinking, shit, how long has this been going on for? I finished up with 2 for about 90 or something. And then the following week, we played at Geelong on a flat track at Geelong. They won the toss and batted, and they've got the names on the scoreboard. The only club I ever played, ground of play that did that. Davey, none for 95, I think it was. But halfway through the day, I thought, no, I think my career's gone here, right here and now. And it was. I don't think I never played in the first again, bowl spin anyway. So that was my career. And then the keeping, as you say.
Yeah. You played in the 66-67 Seconds Premiership. Some great players in that. Some of your great mates, lifelong mates of.
Yes.
Yeah. What's your recollections of that game, Dennis?
The grand final?
Yeah.
Grand final. Not an awful lot. Remember we played Geelong. That was a Preston. That must have been. Yeah, it was a grand final actually. Yeah, Geelong, and they didn't make an awful lot. We were sort of in there with a chance of. Actually, I was playing footy practice matches at the time, and sort of skiving off to play in the bloody cricket, which wasn't very smart. But and then we got the better of them. We'd never beaten Geelong. They were a pretty good side, well captained by Frank Pike, and we'd never beaten them anyway. We got over them this day and won the flag. A fast bowler by the name of Kevin Fisher, now deceased Kevin, late Kevin Fisher. And he didn't look to be an awful lot, but he used to bloody frighten the life out of him. He was fairly quick, but didn't look to be quick. One of those blokes, you know. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, Bounce would come out of nowhere and ensconce a few blokes. So, and there was a bloody good side. It was a really good fielding side. I think that's probably the difference. Everyone in the team was sort of athletic and could throw and run and, you know, catch and all that sort of stuff. And plus, we had Dick as captain. He was just a wonderful leader. Yeah. Just a magnificent leader, actually. Because I was bowling leg breaks then. Yeah, that's right. And it was so encouraging, you know, and it never made you think that I'm letting the team down or whatever. He just always encouraged you. Just terrific. Mm-hmm. That's my memories of that. That was a really good side, led by a really good captain.
Yeah. Did you or bowl?
It was bowling.
Bowling.
Yeah. Bowling leg breaks.
Yep.
And Dick used to put a few blokes on the boundary and smack. That's what they do. They live in the air because it was so tempting. I know if I was batting to myself, I'd be out every bloody ball caught deep mid on. That's how tempting it was. Anyway, yeah, no, it was a really good year and a good team too. I was looking at the photo last night actually, just going through it and wondering what some of these blokes are doing. You know, it was wonderful. Good times. I'm looking forward to a reunion maybe coming up for that.
Yes, we're celebrating Seconds Premiership, so we'd love to see you down there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I look forward to that.
I recall you were a bit of a punishing batter as well. You used to love giving the ball a bit of a tonk. What's the innings that sticks in your mind? I
was in the thirds actually, playing Port Melbourne, in a grand final in the thirds, and we we're playing Coburg at Port Melbourne in the thirds. They batted first. Coburg batted first and declared 9 for 280 or something like that. I don't know why the fella declared, but anyway, to this day I still don't know. Anyway, then we batted, made bugger all about 150 or so. But then it turned out we had to make 300 on the last day in about 270 minutes. It was known as then, wasn't it? 200 minutes to win. So we were under to one basically, to do it. And I got a few that day, only 45 or 7 or something like that. But it had to be in quick time. We're all sort of in a hurry to get the thing done. Either get out or win. Nothing to lose. And everyone made 30s and 40s, and it come down to the last wicket. Scratch was in it, and Paul Jones, in fact, to make 33 at the last pair, to make 33 to win. And they did. Scratch hit a 6. I remember that. And we got it. We made 300 exactly.
Wow.
To win the grand. It was just unbelievable, really, in the thirds. And to this day, I don't know why that guy declared the batting. They were going along. We were buggered in the field, and their bowlers were really struggling. And he said, "Oh, that's enough." He probably thought they had enough to beat us. Well, which they did on the first innings. But there's so much time left in the game. It was a 3-day game, you see, which they don't do now, right? Do they? No, they don't have 2-day games, don't they?
It's one day cricket.
Yeah, that's everything's one day, of course. But that sticks in my brain a bit. Yeah.
How many runs did you finish with?
It was 40 odd. I don't know. I forget. I hadn't made many runs for the year actually, and 47 or something like that. And but it had to be sort of. And I was a bit of a bash artist, which is stupid. I look back in the now, as we all do, and think, geez, I'll do that differently if I have the time again. But thought he'd hit a ball for 4, just crazy. And thought I could do it, which is even more crazy. So it's only about 40, but it was in sort of quick time, and I was just really happy with that. I was just happy to contribute to 300, which the thirds never made 300, especially playing at Chris Park. Well, we'd be there for 3 days to make 300 up there sometimes. The size of the ground and the long grass. That sticks out a bit. I would still remember that. June Jones went and got some champagne. I remember that after the game. And we all did on the boundary. It was just marvellous. Never Lee was captain of that team, by the way.
Right. Okay.
He would have made some run. Good captain, Tim. Yeah, so that was one. I'd never made any 50s or nothing, nowhere near 100. But anyway, enjoyed it.
It would be remiss of me if I didn't ask you how you got your Preston nickname, Sprigger.
Right, that's a funny story. The very first game, I was 14, and I remember I had to get to the tram stop or something to be picked up by Stan Liddick. He was captain of the force. Stan was a bit prone to having a couple of bloody snifters before the game too, but that was okay. And we get to the ground, and he thought I was the Sprigger in the team, the kid that looked after the gear. Yeah. I didn't know anything about this at the time, but later someone explained to me that the teams, the district teams and the shield teams, that had a young guy running around doing a little bit, clean the boots and put the spikes in the boots and to the gopher, basically. And Stan thought I was the Sprigger, the gopher. And he said, "What's your name? Are you the Sprigger?" And it just stuck. I don't know how. That's when I was 14. I must have been telling my mates about it. So he thinks I'm the bloody Sprigger. Bloody hell. Don't even know my name. Jeez. And I was supposed to be moaned about it. Anyway, it stuck. I don't know how true the story is about the teams having the Sprigger, by the way, but that's how he put it to me. He must be the Sprigger. That's what he said. He must be the Sprigger.
And it stuck.
It stuck. It's amazing, really. And even through the football teams and that, wherever you, I hardly knew the bloke who went to Werribee, and one of them called me Sprigger one day. He was a Geelong bloke, that's right. And it stuck there as well, got going again.